morning and welcome to your Thursday, September 19, 2024 edition of the Evening News. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for joining us. Let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. President Ali to launch the COI into alleged crimes committed by PNC AFC officials. Government looking for private investors for second power plant, NGL facility at Wales. VP JAGDEO announces automated border management system. US $260 million new DEMERARA River Bridge, 67.8% complete, says EDGHILL, and government to appeal timeline for payments to Peters Hall residents. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Irfan Ali will soon launch a commission of inquiry into alleged criminal conducts by politicians from the People's National Congress and Alliance for Change. This is according to Vice President Dr. JAGDEO, who revealed during a press conference today that the terms of reference are being drafted. Here's what he had to say.
I spoke with some elements from the U.S. law enforcement agency that came down and met with me when I was president there. And they said to me, you're not dealing with a situation of criminality here. You're dealing with an insurgency there, because the APNU, the AFC and PNC operatives at that time, and I think some of the individuals who are in the AFC now were part of the PNC at that time. So they were going on the ground, talking to the criminals, supplying them with stuff, also telling people in the villages, a group of people, that every time the law enforcement agencies went in there, that they must come out in front of the police and the soldiers. In that period, guess who I had? So we had weapons laws. As president, had to deal with Winston Felix as commissioner of police, and Collins, both of whom went out, joined the PNC, and became members of the leadership of that party. I think they both got into the central executive of the party. That is what I had to deal with. A commissioner and a chief of the army who might have been even sabotaging me as president. And so clearly it came up at the human rights body when we went there, which is I think every 10 years or 15 years you have to present there. It came up about when we're going to do this. And the terms of reference are being drafted, and soon the president will announce the COI. So we'll get to the bottom of this.
The Guyana government is inviting interested companies to submit proposals for a second power plant and natural gas liquids facility at Wales West Bank Demerara, utilizing the excess gas from the Liza fields that would be piped onshore. Here is Vanu Manikchand with the details.
Currently, the Guyana government is pursuing its Model GATT Energy project, which consists of a natural gas liquids facility and a 300-megawatt power plant at Wales on the west bank of Demerara. That project will use rich gas that will be piped from the Liza Phase 1 and 2 projects in the Stabroek Block. ExxonMobil is laying 12-inch pipelines that will bring the gas on shore. However, only 40% of the pipeline's capacity will be used to gas up the current power plant and LGL facility at Wales. Now, government is forging ahead with Phase 2 of the GATT Energy project by utilizing the remaining 60% capacity of the pipeline, which will bring an additional 75 million cubic feet of rich gas per day on shore. As such, qualified firms are invited to respond to a request for proposals to design, finance, and operate Phase 2 of the Gas-to-Energy project on the basis of a 20 to 25-year power purchase agreement. This second phase includes the design, construction, and operation of a 250-megawatt combined cycle power plant to deliver 2,100 gigawatt-hours of electricity per annum and sold to the Guyana Power and Light, Inc. It also caters for the design, construction, and operation of another NGL facility to produce approximately 6,000 barrels per day of NGL products such as propane, butane, and C5 gasoline. Additionally, Phase 2 also includes the transfer at no cost of excess lean gas estimated at 30 million cubic feet of gas per day for utilization in downstream industries, example, fertilizer production, to be located at Wales. Based on the RPF document, the Phase 2 projects will be located on no more than 100 acres of land immediately adjacent to the existing 300-megawatt integrated facility at Wales and will be 100% owned and financed by the private sector, similar to the arrangements of Phase 1 of the Gas-to-Energy project. Additional details can be found in the RPF document, which can be obtained from the Permanent Secretary of the Prime Minister's Office at a fee of $25,000. Interested parties must submit their proposals, which have to include financial projections of revenue, expenses, and investment returns by 2 p.m. on November 14. These initiatives are part of the PPPC government's efforts to transition to clean energy and slash the costs of electricity. In addition to the Gas-to-Energy project at Wales, government is also considering a second gas project in Berbice, utilizing gas from other fields offshore. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
The Guyana government is moving to implement an automated border management system which will allow persons entering the country to fill out customs and immigration forms online. Vanu Manikchand joins us again with the details.
The Guyana government is moving to implement an automated border management system, likely starting with the Chedijagan International Airport. Speaking about several digitization processes underway to improve safety and the ease of doing business locally, Vice President Dr. Bart JAGDEO disclosed that the paperless system at the airport is expected to be operational by the end of 2024.
We have a project that you know of, you might have heard of, that will make our airport paperless. And we are hoping by the end of the year that this will happen. That we have an automated border management system that will pre-screen people, that would allow us to know long before people have arrived in the country who they are and their background, that would allow people to online or through an app fill up all of the entry forms, as their customs declaration, so everything is online, and that will be shared directly to the GRA immediately. So if you declare you're bringing in $10,000 in the country, it goes immediately almost to the GRA, or you're taking $10,000 out the country, so they get that information.
This digitization process at the airport will also remove the long immigration lines. Currently, a printed customs declaration form is used at all of Guyana's ports of entry for arriving passengers.
This would allow us to have these automated gates so that with the new ID that we will be issuing soon, or a passport, you'll be able to just swipe your ID or your passport without approaching an immigration officer and enter the country. But if you're flagged by the their border management system, then you would have to, of course, approach an immigration officer.
As part of its overall digitalization efforts, the Guyana government is working on the introduction of electronic identification cards for both Guyanese citizens and visitors. The vice president explained this will not only help to differentiate between the two groups, but also monitor foreign nationals in the country.
So when you enter in the country, immediately that record goes to a government central database that will be able to track you if you come in on a short-term visa. So you can't, if you overstay, suddenly you get flagged. And if you don't have a work, you didn't come in on a particular visa, you can't get a work permit. So a modern system to manage the safety of our country and our borders, that we can know who's coming into our country and we can keep our people secure, and that we can flag undesirables before they come home.
Reporting for the Evening News, Fanu Manakchand.
Construction of the $260 million new Demerara River Bridge is approximately 67.8% completed, according to Public Works Minister EDGHILL during a site inspection today. Trishelle Sobers was there and filed this report.
According to a project report on the new Demar River Bridge, the temporary trestle bridge west and east retaining walls are 100% complete, while the temporary working platforms and drill shafts are 98% and 75% complete respectively. Additionally, the pile cap is 54% complete, the east approach piers are 50%, main tower leg is 44%, main tower cross beam is 12%, and bent capped is 29% complete. The precast sitters east, precast girders west approach roadway and deck spans stand at 1.4 to 0% complete. During his engagement with the media during a site inspection on Thursday, Public Works Minister EDGHILL disclosed that the new Demar River Bridge is on track for the March 31, 2025 completion deadline. In responding to questions about the bridge's sustainability, he explained that the structure has a lifespan of 100 years, and maintenance works will be conducted every 2 years to ensure its cables, which has a lifespan of 60 years, remain effective.
Even though we don't anticipate an earthquake in the design, the bridge is built to deal with an earthquake situation. The structures, the foundation, and everything. You will see we're drilling any of the piers now. So we'll carry you and show you what is taking place, how deep they're going, to ensure that we get stability. We want to assure the nation that this project, which was undertaken by the government of Guyana, have been undertaken with all the necessary seriousness and diligence, ensuring quality.
Further, EDGHILL told the media that the bridge being built by the contracting consortium led by China Railway and Construction Corporation Limited will include security features to safeguard against collisions.
The same way aircraft operate in terms of getting safely to runway, there aids to navigation, that there have to be communication between the tower and the craft. MARAD, the lighthouse, the chief pilot, because boats coming into Guyana are not driven by the foreign pilots. Once it gets to our channel, a local pilot goes on board and brings the ship through, so that communication and the aids to navigation in terms of the technology and actual markers are always in place.
The new bridge will be a fixed 2.65 kilometer 4-lane high-span cable stay structure across the Demar River, with the width of the driving force being about 23.6 meters. The bridge, which features a bicycle lane, will bring an end to the closures of vehicular traffic with a 50-meter fixed high span to cater for the free flow of vessels uninterrupted. The river will be dredged along 13.5-kilometer stretch to accommodate large vessels. This new bridge will replace the aging floating Demar Harbor Bridge, which has outlived its lifespan by several decades. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal has said the government will appeal the timeline it was given to issue payments to residents for the acquisition of their lands at Peters Hall, East Bank, Demerara, which are in the path of the new Demerara River Bridge. Find out more in this Michael Henry report.
On September 13, Justice Navindra Singh delivered a ruling awarding the Peters Hall, East Bank Demerara properties to the state. The defendants, Joseph Class and others, Dennis and Odetta Hall and Prince Wilson, were demanding much more compensation than their properties were actually worth. But following the ruling, they will now have to contend with less than the state was initially awarding. Under the ruling, property owners must vacate the premises by September 30, 2024, while the state is required to pay compensation by September 20, 2024. However, the government is not happy with the timeline stipulated for payments. Speaking during his weekly program, Issues in the News, Attorney General Anil Nandlal argued that the compensation can be contended and therefore should not delay the possession of the properties.
The law could never intended or never intends that the issue of compensation can delay a national project. What the law contemplates is that you deliver possession to the state and let the court determine compensation. You can go all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice with the issue of compensation, but possession must be given to the state. Unfortunately, one judge ruled that compensation must be paid first. I respectfully say that that decision is wrong. It is a misapplication of the law, and it's a misinterpretation of the letter and spirit of the legislation. No one can question the state's power to take the land. All you can question is your compensation. Several properties along the West Bank and West Coast, which we have acquired, most of them were settled, but two, I believe, are in the court. But we got possession for the running of the pipeline, because the law will not contemplate that the public purpose would be delayed over a squabble over compensation that can always be determined. So the decisions where the court has ruled that possession can be given until the compensation is worked out, those decisions will be appealed.
The defendants were given several choices before the matter was taken to the court, which included land or land and house, commercial lands, and additional financial compensation. However, all were refused, and in accordance with the court's ruling on current market value, more than one person will be getting less than what was initially offered. Nandlal pointed out that the project is time-sensitive and cannot be stalled. Last resort, he said, will be to use its coercive powers, and this will be done if necessary. The AG pointed out that the acquisition of private property for development projects is not new and is covered in the laws of the country. Michael Henry, The Evening News.
Coming up, government issues order to energy agencies about ensuring stable power supply, and CPCE launches online classes for hinterland schools. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Transitions Light Intelligent Lenses. Pick your color. Choose your style. Available at Optique Vision Care.
It's CPR. It's CPR. It's CPR time. Man, girl, and boy. Feel the CPR joy. from every nation in the Caribbean. Larger than life, we're building legends in this Caribbean nation. We're all in, it's CPL time.
We're all in. Republic Bank, title sponsor and official bank of the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier.
Guys, I think I'm in love! Wow!
Yeah, I was looking at you too.
What? What are you talking about? I'm in the tiles. Where did you get them?
Oh, Mima Decor, obviously the best tile store in Guyana. Come, let me take you there.
My kitchen, my bathroom, my floors. Mima Decor has everything. And the prices are great too.
So, y'all want to have a date now?
We can build on that. Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. In light of the spate of power outages over the past few days, energy agencies have received strict orders to ensuring a stable power supply across Guyana. Details in this Vanu Manikchand report.
On Wednesday, Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips held a high-level meeting with key stakeholders in Guyana's power sector at his office on Camp Street. These stakeholders include senior representatives from the Guyana Power and Light, Power Producers and Distributors Incorporated, Hinterland Electrification Company, and the GATT Energy Agency. Discussions focused on strategic planning for energy and addressed the critical issues of ensuring adequate and reliable power supply to the nation across immediate, medium, and long-term horizons. Comprehensive briefings were provided covering various aspects of power generation and distribution. Prime Minister Phillips, who holds responsibility for the country's energy sector, and Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, issued directives to the key power sector entities, emphasizing the imperative of maintaining a stable and sufficient energy supply for the Guyanese populace. These instructions followed an increased spate of power outages over the past few days. On Wednesday, GPL explained that 2 power disruptions that day in Demerara and Berbice were as a result of a trip on the L17 transmission line, which connects the Columbia and Good Hope substations. The line was transferring approximately 28 megawatts and 33 megawatts of power, respectively, within the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system. The sudden generation loss triggered a cascading effect on the grid, leading to multiple generators going offline. According to GPL, vibrations from pile driving and roadworks at Hope and Unity on the east coast of Demerara near the L17 line caused the trips. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
In an effort to ensure the country's tourism water-based hotspots are operated in a safe manner, the government intends to roll out a program to train lifeguards to be stationed at these facilities. As we hear in this Michael Henry report, the government also intends to procure some safety equipment to distribute to the operators.
Following the demise of 2 young girls at a creek resort along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway, the government, through the Ministry of Home Affairs, had met with operators of water-based tourism facilities some 10 days ago. During the meeting, operators were instructed to ensure warning signs, barricades, and lifeguards are installed at their facilities by Saturday last. The Evening News on Thursday contacted Minister of Home Affairs, Robeson Ben, for an update where he revealed that only some operators have complied.
Well, some people have already bought life rafts, life rings, and I think we, the ministry, are buying 80 or more.
These equipment, he said, will be distributed to some operators. Moreover, the minister said the government itself intends to train persons as lifeguards. Ben said his ministry will be working closely with the Guyana Tourism Authority.
The Tourism GTA with the Swimming Association have been doing lifeguard training and this rescue training. So the training of the lifeguards in respect of how you recover persons from the water and also in relation to resuscitation. So those are a few things. We probably have by another week with a complete thing.
The minister further revealed that a survey will be done to determine what other gaps exist when it comes to safety at facilities of this nature.
But the hydro survey will be completed next week. The gauges can be put in place. We're looking along with the defense people sort of more countrywide response, because these are not the only swimming places, not only the highway, but there is with Linden at the in the find out areas, in the Blue Lakes, I think they call them, and there are other places around the country which we got what we're precipitating now is a comprehensive response together with the other state agencies. So that's sports and culture, tourism, and ourselves, of course, and any private agency or business who want to get involved.
Michelle Henry, The Evening News.
Some 10,000 residents residing in the new housing development in Little Diamond, East Bank, Demerara, now have access to potable water following the completion of a water distribution system there. Trishelle Sobers has this story.
In addition to the 10,000 residents of Little Diamond, East Bank, Demerara, the water distribution system, which was installed by engineers from the Guyana Water Incorporated GWI, will provide clean water to persons living in sections 1, 2, and 3 in the nearby village of Great Diamond. The system is linked to the new Covent Garden well, which was recently constructed in the area. During an inspection on Wednesday, Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Susan Rodriguez, explained that among the beneficiaries are young professionals, most of whom were allotted land in 2020. With all necessary infrastructures now in place, Minister Rodriguez assured residents that the communities will receive a timely delivery of water access.
Many people have applied previously and they were waiting to access our service. We completed that well at Covent Garden, and today is the last day that we are completing the interconnection to ensure that this area, Little Diamond, and sections 1, 2, and 3 in Great Diamond is serviced. The connections are there. They do have the main in their yards, so they were just waiting now on the lines to be filled, and by this afternoon that will happen.
Minister Rodriguez explained that due to the availability of water in the area, other persons can now advance the construction of their homes.
Part of the program is that well will feed into the water treatment plant that we are rehabilitating at the Covent Garden area. This area is now serviced with water, so the people who have house lots in this area or who have already started their construction, I just want to assure them that this area is now fully serviced with GWI connections.
This project is part of government's broader initiative to ensure comfortable and sustainable living for all Guyanese. Thus far, a sum of $4.5 billion has been expended to improve water quality and supply across the country. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
In a bid to better manage the use of heavy-duty trucks traversing Guyana's roadways, the government has revealed that it is developing a policy directive that will be enforced soon. Here is Trishelle Sobers again with the details.
As a result of the persistent issue regarding heavy-duty trucks parking on reserves, shoulders of community roads, in housing areas, and not adhering to speed limits, Public Works Minister EDGHILL has disclosed that government is in the process of putting in place a new policy directive to address the situation. EDGHILL told media operatives on Thursday that the move is part of efforts to create a safety culture on Guyana's roadway. Hence, it will be provided for under the Road Traffic Act to cater for enforcement and penalties.
I met with them at the stadium. I've met with truck drivers who move loom and sand off the Linden Highway and bring aggregate out of the Muburu Hill. Truck drivers are our family. They are our neighbors. They're Guyanese citizens. Any country where development is taking place as rapidly as is happening in Guyana, it's what is called birth pains. Birth pains. And we just got to be able to develop a culture of safety.
Minister EDGHILL added that the policy directive will also put strategic measures in place to standardize the time at which trucks can traverse the road and the amount of weight they will be required to carry. He explained that this is part of efforts to reduce damage to new and existing roads.
In that policy that we're developing as well, we'll have to look at issues of weight control. Look at the East Bank Road. On the western side of the road, every week we are fixing bulges. On the eastern side, minimum. Why? Trucks are going up empty, but they're coming down laden. And I am not a professional, but I've been learning and reading. The weight that you could carry on a truck has to do with the axle load, how many axles it have, because the weight must never be transferred to the road. It must be on the axles. And whether it's a paddy truck in the Borbies, whether it's a sand truck or a truck carrying aggregate or cement, it's the same thing applies.
Last week, Minister EDGHILL had revealed that the government is in the process of developing a plot of land for owners to rent a space to park their trucks and articulate vehicles. Trishelle Sobers, Evening News.
The Cyril Potter College of Education has launched online classes designed to empower teachers in hinterland schools. Utilizing platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, and Microsoft Teams, CPCE is bringing high-quality instruction directly to educators across the region. Over the past week, the pilot program has successfully connected teachers as far as north as Waini in Region 1 and as far south as Guns, Deep South Rupununi, Region 9. With more than 300 educators set to participate, CPCE said it is committed to delivering exceptional instruction across all courses offered. In addition to general lectures provided by specialists from the college, CPCE will host weekly cluster tutorials within the region. This initiative aims to foster collaboration and enhance the learning experience for teachers in remote areas, ensuring that they have access to the resources and support they need. And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, September 20, 2024 at 3 hours 45 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Friday, September 20, 2024 at 5 hours 40 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Let's now take a look at the local stock exchange market complements of GASI. TKR script 5-wicket win against GAW and Sterling Products backs Quartz Optical Pee-wee tournament. These and more stories coming up in this evening's Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp.
Hi, I'm Timothy Ramjan, and this is MacCorp Rental. We have the right equipment and generator for your coming project. Call me on 698-8116. MacCorp, let's do the work.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Did you know Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline has an octane rating of 95, the highest rating available in Guyana? This premium fuel is known to enhance the performance of your engine, making it run smoother and more efficiently, leading to better fuel economy and improved performance. Choose Super 95 for more mileage and better overall performance.
Mechanics, Sylvie's has all the equipment you need to make your job easier and your business profitable. Visit our 31 High and Hatfield Street store and choose from our wide array of shop presses, engine hoists, oil drain pans, parts washers, jack stands, bottle and floor jacks, hand tools, and much more. Can't make it to the store? Shop online at sylviesonline.com and have it delivered. Call or WhatsApp 623-7755 for more info.